Hello, and welcome to Married at First Sight Review, episode 9 and 10. So, let's get into it. First of all, thank you all for coming back, as many people have been coming back. If you have listened to every one of my reviews, well, thank you very much. You're so special to me. I appreciate you. Well, if you want to go further, you can like and maybe subscribe. I don't know. Okay, thank you for listening. We'll go start with Zach and Michaela. Well, like I said earlier, I do not believe in the edit that was being made on Michaela. I felt that they were overdone. And as we've seen from this past two episodes, it seems to show that they were actually overdone. Obviously, it was wrong, as I said earlier, for Michaela to, go back on her word, saying that she would not just up and leave over an argument, and did just exactly that. But I think, as I said earlier, that Zach refused her to acknowledge his part in the whole conflict is what is really annoying Michaela. If you remember, I think in was it episode 4, 5, Zach was saying that he would like to see how they would get over an argument, and not long after that, he just upped and left their apartment after promising to meet Michaela the night before. He was supposed to meet Michaela the night before in the room. He left her there. She said he slept off in the other room. And then the next day, he just left the apartment like that. So I think Zach actually started this conflict. He wanted to see a conflict between them to see how they will handle it. And he's not taking any responsibility for that. So it was very defensive and in denial. I think Zach was very surprised to see that the counselors and the experts saw that he had a fault in it all. Maybe he was expecting that, oh, I'm the good, nice guy. Everybody going to see Makela the hurricane. I really don't like it when any kind of woman, whatever the race, is just being labeled as aggressive because it's an easy story to say. Like some people say, women are always emotional. So I think it was hypocritical of Zach to say last time that Makela was wrong to almost cancel their brunch, housewarming brunch, over a change of mind. But in this episode, you see him, he cancelled the movie night and he didn't even change his mind. And he was like, I'm glad she was able to take it. But he always finds reason to blame, to remember, and to reblame Makela in a very, very immature way. So that was not nice. And I was not happy with that his friend at the gym in this episode 10 for not letting Zach know his fault in the whole thing. He was just so, to me, a little bit too sympathetic towards Zach on the matter. So we see that Makela is making a whole lot of effort, and to me, she was reasonably calm in pointing out Zach refusal and immaturity to move past issues and past things, and always bringing them up, bringing them, it's almost like he's trying to provoke Makela. That is what I see. So Zach liked, okay, yeah, they played some games, some blindfolded game, and I thought Zach looked like a ninja in the blindfold, in the red blindfold. He looked good in it. Zach asked for a lot. When Makela asks him a question, instead of just answering directly, he goes through a lot of, he just answered the question directly. I think that would be nice, but that's not really a big issue anyway, but it's just an observation. Makela just wants a steadfast person, a reliable person, somebody that will give the comfort that she had in her father, and also will give the comfort that she desires from a mate. So I don't think Makela is really asking for too much. She has put in a whole lot of effort, and Zach I think he's believing he has a good TV personnel so far, and he was a bit shocked when Dr. Viviana let him know that he had obvious flaws, and he started crying. I don't know what was making him cry. That was just crocodile tears. Okay, we'll go to the next people. Let me go. I'm just going through my least favorite first and keeping my favorite for the last. So I'll go for, at least for this week, I'll go to for Bao and Johnny. Bao and Johnny, they are not so much on my up list now. Bao and Johnny, okay, Johnny wants to do romantic things with Bao. That's what I get. I I've seen a whole lot of feedback on Johnny's behavior during the season 9, excuse me, episode 9's painting date, and they're like, oh, he was so angry at him, Bao's commitment to the painting. I think Johnny had an image, a fantasy of how that it was going to be. They were going to be drinking wine, touching each other. And when he did not, when it wasn't going as he imagined it, he kind of freaked out. And sometimes, like I always say, you have to remember that these people are doing these things in front of camera. The way you behave before a camera is not the same way you will behave behind a camera. So maybe he had already discussed with the producer, oh, we are going to have a fun date, romance, and then seeing it play out in another way, there is an element of embarrassment, or I don't know, something that he wants to try to fix. So I think he just overreacted. It's nothing really so big, you know. It's just that it's also a character I think Bao shares. Two of them have it. Look, like when Bao saw the gift he gave in the wedding, she freaked out. She just had an imagination and freaked out. So when Johnny saw Bao's reaction to the date, he just had an imagination that, oh, it's going the wrong way, she's being too serious, and he freaked out. So they both have things in common. That is just one of the things that they have in common. And then Dr. Viviana was asking them about their intimacy, and sort of Viviana seemed so very, very, very much excited about the answer. Johnny said it was very intense, it was more of a lustful mating, and you could see Dr. Viviana's going dreamy. I mean, that woman, she loves her job. It was weird to look at anyway. So, Bao and Johnny seem to be in a reasonably good place so far. Nothing. It seems like they are mending their relationship. Their relationship is mending, and they are using intimacy to mend it. I don't know how healthy that is, but it has some healthiness to it, I guess. Okay, so did I forget anything about Bao and Johnny? They did some games that they gave to them. They both seemed to enjoy the game, and I'm sure the producers were delighted to see them so expressive in them. So that's Bao and Johnny for now. We'll go next to Makela. Excuse me. We'll go to Brett and Ryan. Okay, Brett and Ryan. It was bittersweet. They both have walls of not wanting to hurt or shock the other with what they most, that's what I think anyway. They don't want to hurt or shock the other with what they actually wish to express about each other. So they are kind of working on, they are tiptoeing, and then Ryan let Brett know that he would rather she called him out on his BS, and I think he will want a more confident woman, something like that. They had an exercise, a yoga exercise, and then I think Ryan seemed to like it, Brett seemed to like it. She was giggling a lot, which I think is something Brett like about the whole thing. I think we would have preferred her to be more serious. That's what I get about Ryan's personality. So Ryan said he was feeling overwhelmed, and then he went home for 2 days and then came back. I saw from the preview that A friend of Brett told Brett that Ryan had been on the dating apps. It might be those 2 days that he was home. That's what I'm thinking. That he went and tried the dating app, but that is however. Ryan has steadfast as he looks, seems to be caught up in some fantasy world of too much R&B movies or whatever. Think talking about smashing his wife to the wall and having, all these what they call those romance, silhouette romance, or those kind of romance. And Dr. Viviana was kind to let him know that that was just a fantasy and he should get over it. Okay, I'll move to the next person. I wish them, of course, I wish them well. So far they are doing quite well. Ryan came back home and it seems they are trying to build on their relationship. Brett, of course, is more in love with Ryan than Ryan is with her, as we've already said before. So we'll move to the next person, Rachel and Jose. Rachel and Jose have been lovey-dovey, and then sometimes I think that it's not that you shouldn't tell the truth, but you should be careful how you say the truth. I think that Rachel should not. That's why I hate that never ever. I hate that game. I hate that game. I hate that game. That's never ever should I don't think Rachel should have said that thing in front of everybody. I don't think so. That's what I think personally. I think that she should just have kept her mouth quiet, and then later she told him that personally this is what I want you to know. I didn't think that it might be honorable for you to be told in front of everybody, to know at the same time with everybody. You understand? So that's what I think. And Jose has not been able to just let go of that information. He's still stuck with it, in it, and it has been haunting him, and then he has been behaving in it. I think he wants Rachel to just tell him that I promise you, I will never ever shit on you. That person is gone. But Rachel is just like so, cool and casual about it. Oh, it happened. You just have to trust me. I will not. I mean, I have grown from that experience. But Jose wants a passionate assurance that she is not that person anymore. So, unfortunately, Rachel called Jose by Johnny's name. I don't know how. I know the two are JJ, but they are not pronounced the same. But Jose and Johnny are quite close. So, and one thing I think is that it means usually what I have observed is that when people start dating and they don't start with their names, maybe they start dating and maybe they call each other baby, love, honey. When the person needs to call the person name, the other person's name, they might make a mistake. Especially this is less than 4 weeks of knowing each other. So I think that Jose should be more understanding about it. I think Rachel has not been calling him Jose. Maybe I call me love, darling, there, baby, and so that kind of thing can happen with that. So Jose locked Rachel out, which was very, very bad in any form of the way. It was too reflective, too impulsive. Impulsive, that was the word. So anyway, Rachel was angry about that. She threatened to leave. Jose was like, okay, go. Thankfully, some of the producers stepped in and they are still together. But Rachel went another impulsive move and said, I do not love him anymore. Like that was just too impulsive. That is not a help to any of the matter. And so that was that. So yeah. Then they are still trying to work out on that. And I hope they settle. I love them. Mela and Gil. Mela kissed Gil. It's more like a peck anyway. They called it a kiss, but from what I saw, it was more like a peck, two pecks. And then they seem to be going in the right way. I think Mela is a woman that wants to make sure that her home stays and everything's secure, but she doesn't want to give in too soon. I think she's trying to ensure that they build on a relationship first before they build on a physical relationship. So I'm only using I can only speak for 15 minutes, so I'll stop here. Thank you all for joining. Wish you a wonderful, wonderful week ahead and see you next time.